I gotta get this out of the way first. The title of the game is Rough World, not Raff World. For some reason they used the Japanese phonetic spelling of rough, but you can find references that confirm that it is supposed to be R-O-U-G-H. That mangling continues over to the English title. It's supposed to be Journey to Sirius, as in the dog star, not Silius. Rough World was developed to be a Terminator game. Sunsoft lost the license while they were making it, but you can still see a lot of Terminator in the game. The substitute plot that they settled on was that your father was working on a space colony called Sirius, but was then blown up under mysterious circumstances. He leaves you a message, though, that you should finish his work, which is apparently going around and shooting a bunch of people. There are 5 stages that you have to fight through in order to complete your poorly defined goal, and Rough World is a side-scrolling run-and-gun. A jumps and B shoots. The big gimmick of Rough World is that as you progress through the game, you'll pick up additional weapons. These are inevitably dropped by a mini-boss at the end of the stage, so once you've picked up your new weapon, you go straight to the boss. You access your weapon inventory by pressing Start, and then you cycle through your weapons by pressing Select. You begin with a handgun, which is your default weapon, and you also have a shotgun that fires a spread. Using any weapon other than your handgun costs weapon energy, and there's only 3 ways to refill it. First, get a blue capsule dropped by an enemy. These don't drop especially often. Second, defeat the boss of the stage. When you kill them, it automatically refills your health and weapon energy. Third, get a game over. You don't get energy back when you die, but when you continue, it refills it. Using a continue to refill is not a good idea though, since you only have 3 of those with which to complete the game. Weapon energy being rare means that I tended to hoard it. There are moments where I would want to break out a weapon in order to quickly defeat an enemy that would do a lot of damage to me, but for the most part I saved it for the mini-bosses and final bosses. On the first stage you pick up a machine gun. The rapid fire shots here are actually pretty handy for defeating a lot of the tougher enemies, so I wound up using it quite a bit. Stage 2 gives you homing missiles. Perfect for hitting targets that stay just out of reach, and it does extra damage. Stage 3 gives you a laser, which does extreme damage to enemies. The way I tended to use that was to equip it for a single shot to defeat a powerful foe, and then unequip it again immediately. Besides weapon energy, enemies can drop some health for you, and those are the red capsules, but these only recover a very tiny amount of health. The stages in Rough World can go on for quite a while, and they do have checkpoints in them, so you don't lose too much progress when you die. But if you get a game over, then it's all the way back to the start of the level, even if you are at the boss. The bosses here aren't too bad. On the first stage you have to take on a helicopter, and it's just a matter of waiting until it comes down. This giant robot on the second level is a tougher one, but as long as you stay back and watch out for its claw opening, you can dodge the shots and hit it in its exposed weak point. The third boss is trivial. Just jump over the low shot and shoot the core. And that's as far as I progressed. The enemy placement is the greater challenge here. There's a tendency to place them just where they'll knock you around when you have to jump in blind. But once you know that they're coming, then you can have a pretty easy time of it. There's also a lot of traps on the stages, especially the later ones. In fact, on the final stage, there are no enemies, just traps. If the 3 continues aren't enough for you, you can hit the A button exactly 33 times on the title screen, then press Start, and there you'll go to a sound test, and you'll have the option to turn up the number of continues. On its initial release in Japan, Rough World was not well received, but over time it became known as one of the hidden gems on the Famicom, especially due to its presentation and music. Unfortunately, those poor initial sales make copies pretty hard to come by. It hasn't quite cracked the 10,000 yen limit for a cartridge-only copy, but it's getting awfully close. On the positive side, Sunsoft has reissued it multiple times. On the negative, those reissues are also very expensive now. If you like the music in Rough World, and you should, you could always play along with it. The game manual has sheet music for the opening theme. My own view on Rough World is that it's good, but not brilliant. The action's a little bit slow-paced for me, and the low quantity of ammunition you get for your other weapons means that I rarely use them. Rough World is a game that always left me wanting more. So it's good, it's just not one of my favorites.